Mikey.
Hi, right. How are you doing?
How's it looking?
Yeah, all right. I think he's done quite a good job. I'm quite happy with it. I'm slightly nervous. There's a few things that he hasn't managed to get out, but he's coming back later to finish it off.
Right.
And then hopefully we'll finish it tonight and we can deliver it tomorrow.
Okay. So where's
We've been here about 7 years. Started off about 2001 we opened, and I kept going past on the bus because I used to have another profession, and I used to see it, and I kept thinking it was a nice shop, the aspect of it and the corner site. And my father had a shop in the West End, and we thought it would be nice to do something together. So we initially opened the shop together, and we used to go on trips together in Europe and looking for original things, always looking for things in good condition. Was always we never wanted to do too much work to things, so it's nice to find pristine examples and things like that.
But the earliest ones have the label, yeah?
I think the earlier ones do have the stamp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like 1955 to 60.
I think they were 58. I think we can look in the book again, can't we?
Okay.
The magic book. Yeah, so I think they're 58.
Okay. Anywhere
One of the key elements with particularly the Danish furniture is that they had after the war everyone was rebuilding in different ways, and the Danish they did some research and found out that internationally, even then they were known for their high quality finish and their craftsman finish. So they made some rules which limited the furniture workshops to like 25 employees, I think it was, in order to maintain and grow this craftsman-like appreciation and keep it in the product. You know, everyone else really was going, including England, was trying to make as much as possible, and that's where all the quality, I guess, collapsed a bit. England not being a bad example of that, really.
I think people like us, the friendly atmosphere, and we have a varied selection. We don't just cater for people. We don't just have expensive things and cater for people with a big budget. We like to cater for different levels. So we would sell a sofa, a two-seater sofa, just a traditional style by, say, Borg Morgensen, a Danish designer, for someone who was setting up home or apartment in the area. And we also like to have, art on different levels and things on different levels for people. So we're not just focusing on one group. We like to make everyone welcome, Sold for 10,000 US, wasn't it?
Okay.
But obviously unsigned, I suppose probably £600 or something like that.
Yeah, I thought 650.
I think the signature.
1971. I mean, it's the only way to get that image in a sort of official way, isn't it? Without going into many thousands for the print now.
What would it cost you for a print?
25,000.
£1,000.
Yeah, 20 plus.
20 plus. Well, I think it's a nice picture. It's an iconic image.
Yeah.
From Andy Warhol, isn't it?
A lot of this is to do with like that post-war recovery and regrouping and trying to get finding new markets. And like everyone else, everyone had a different technique with it. The Germans, was all bent metal, and these are the factories they already had. The Dutch furniture, is a market and a growing market for us. It's riding on the back of a trend for sort of like factory and industrial type furniture, which is maybe the top end of that is the French with the Jean Prouvé and the Matagot, quite cheaply manufactured things. A lot of it made in Casablanca, but it's getting like many thousands, 10,000 for a coffee table, and really high prices. But the Dutch places like Friso Kramer, which had a lot of Wim Rietveld designed objects, and Tomado, the very colourful shelving. These we sell these, and we buy quite a lot of it.
Well, also there's a lot of things have been reproduced, and we're looking for old original examples, not reproductions. And it's a permanent battle because a lot of the things are being reissued by the companies that originally made them. But you always find that the things that were made the first time round were always nicer quality. They always had a better finish. They're the examples we look for. When you can reproduce things, for instance, this, you know, the sideboard that we were talking about earlier is cabinet made. You know, it's made, you know, in small numbers, produced by hand to a high quality, which makes it valuable. You know, and it's by a designer, and you can look it up in a book, and you can reference it, but it still has lines and a look of something that could possibly be made, you know, much later. It was just a very stylish period, the 60s, and the Danish personified that and were very good at that.